Welcome back to Summoner's Choice, where you, the community, got to choose a champion to be added to Marvel Contests of Champions. Now last year, you chose Hercules as your champion, and we walked you through all the steps we take here at Kabam from concept into final design. This year, you made your voices heard once again, and Quicksilver emerged as the Summoner's Choice for 2022. And again, we're breaking down the process of bringing Quicksilver from concept into reality. Let's get into it. Welcome to Summoner's Choice, Justin. Super stoked to have you on with us as the producer overseeing the production of Quicksilver. Now, can you tell me what the basis for inspiration was for Quicksilver's design?
Once we saw that Quicksilver won, we immediately asked, what is this guy gonna look like? So we started with the comic version of Quicksilver as our base, and then our concept artists scoured the internet for comics, cartoons, movies, and more ideas. After creating a mood board for our reference, the artist creates the concept image. This concept image is then sent to the modelers to build him and bring him into the 3D space. And lastly, they create his texture map and texture the model to match the concept image.
And he looks so good too. I'm always in awe of that process. Now, sitting in those design meetings myself in that brainstorm, you get to see how a lot more is discussed than just how the champion is going to look.
Oh, absolutely. It's in the brainstorm that we figure out what different movesets that he can do, as well as figure out his personality and fighting style.
Personality? Can you expand on that just a little bit?
For sure. So when you play a champion in our game, you want it to feel like you're playing as that champion. So it's important that we nail down the big beats, but also those nuanced details that make all the difference. So it's how do we make him look cocky and confident, but also give you that feeling as well?
Speaking of nuanced details, this is the first speedster in the game. How exactly does that work within the current system? I imagine that was a pretty big challenge.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. Whenever we have a proposed feature that we can't achieve with the tech that we have in game, we have to create it, and this definitely did not exist. So as you mentioned, we need to work within our current system of timing while also making Quicksilver not only look fast, but feel fast as well. This came down to going beyond our limit of 2 hits within the frame range of a single attack, like Tiger's medium attack for example. But for Quicksilver, we not only bumped it up to 3, this required us to get in early with our animator before Quicksilver's model was ready, in order to start testing out how his animations looked and felt, as well as to make sure we maintain the rhythm our players have come to expect. Which is why you can see Human Torch's model moving like that.
Was there any special tech needed for those special attacks?
Oh yeah, there definitely was. So for a special one, before starting, projectiles could not go past the opponent. For Quicksilver, we had to create a new system to allow this to happen. We even had to build out a few new elements for a special 3 I think players are gonna love.
Agreed. Justin, thanks for coming out and sharing with all the summoners out there how everything is running on the production of Quicksilver.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Next up, we've got Kabam Shay here, the animator behind Namor, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Spider-Ham, and Mojo, just to name a few, and now Quicksilver. What an absolute challenge to take on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Trying to make them look and feel fast while not making them completely broken was a tough ask. We always wanted a contest, and I think we managed to do him justice.
Indeed. Now, how many iterations did you have to go through for Quicksilver? I do remember seeing a few versions floating around.
I had a few different prototypes of some of the moves, like a custom intro and evade.
Sometimes when we start a new character's animation, the actual model itself hasn't been made yet. So I start my first pass with a proxy model. This one happened to be Human Torch, and gave him a color scheme to fit what I was going for.
Not everything works in the first try, but I really hope people like where we landed.
Speaking of not working on the first try, can you tell the summoners out there about that initial walk cycle?
Oh yeah, well it's not in there anymore, but there was an original walk cycle that was a walk, but sped up at Quicksilver speed, and we do enjoy adding some comical elements to our characters, but I think that was a stretch too far, so now he's just got a very casual jog.
Yeah, I think the jog was a better choice too. Now, in terms of hits, we've got multiple attacks in a single input. So how many hits can the summoners out there expect to see off of the standard 5-hit bread and butter combo?
That would be 13 hits and 14 if you finish with a light attack due to the triple hit light attacks and a double hit medium, so you can really rack up the hit counter there.
Yep, that is a lot of hits. Now, on to the special attacks. Can you break those down for the summoners out there watching?
Well, for sure, they're going to be real fast. The special one really leans into his running speed, so that required him to fire across the screen, running around the world, knocking the socks off of his opponents with his speed. Very quick, very simple, but really just showcases how absolutely fast he is. And his special 2, he's still fast, but this time we wanted to focus on his cockiness and his confidence. So he zips in, tenderizes the opponent like a piece of meat, backs off to show how cool and confident he is, do a little stretching, get a little breather, and then he zips in for that final blow. For the special 3, we thought what better way to show how fast he is than by showing how slow everything else is. And I always start with the essential moments and beats we want, and then I lock down the general timing before we finish up for the final version. This was one of my favorite things to work on with Quicksilver. It was a great opportunity to showcase his character, his attitude, some fun references you might pick up, and to, in the end, totally embarrass the opponent.
Oh man, that special 3 is looking so sweet. Dude, and the arcade machine. Are you sure your name is not actually Kabam Shay Butter? Because those animations are super smooth.
Thanks. Yeah, I really wanted to show them off in there. Looking forward to players trying them out and having some fun with them.
Well, although I'm only watching from the sidelines, it's always amazing to see it all come together. And of course, thank you so much for coming out here and sharing with all the summoners your process on animating Quicksilver, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Dave. Anytime.
Well, there you have it, summoners. We're off to a great start with Quicksilver. Make sure to tune in on the next episode where we get to discuss the final abilities and how they matched up with the initial intention. Also, we get to see how VFX really spices up the game for Quicksilver. You don't want to miss it. So if you like the video and want to see more, go ahead and click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we'll see you in the Battle Realm.